But up first on India at 9, World Cup action where India and the juggernaut continues to roll on. Dhoni and his boys have assured themselves of the top spot in Pool B after thrashing Ireland by 8 wickets in a game in Hamilton. After opting to bat first, Ireland, of course, got off to a pretty brisk start, but the Indian bowlers, led by Ravichandran Ashwin and Mohammad Shami, made a remarkable comeback. They restricted the Irish to 259. This was after the Irish were at 206 for 3 at one stage. They were cruising then. And then the Indian batting. Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit Sharma set the platform with a 174-run first-wicket partnership. Dhawan scoring his second century of the World Cup as India got home with 79 balls and more than an hour to spare. So let's take you through the match summary then. Ireland were restricted to a below-par score of 259. Niall O'Brien top scoring with 75. Captain William Porterfield adding 67. Shami was the pick of the bowlers for India, figures of 3 for 41. Ashwin too picked up 2 wickets. He was the more economical one. Shikhar Dhawan scoring his 8th one-day 100 in the chase, and Rohit Sharma chipping in with 64. His form was a bit of a concern, but now that's been put to rest. India cruising to the target. Stuart Thompson got the only 2 Indian wickets to fall.
I think the crucial part is for everybody to score runs, to get wickets and to bowl well, because ultimately in the knockout stages you don't really know, who all you may need. So it's important that everybody gets a bit of confidence going. And as far as the records and the milestones are concerned, the most important thing is, winning the game for your country. It doesn't really matter, what the milestone is. Definitely it's something that every player will be proud of.
After India's 5th straight win this World Cup and 9 in World Cups so far consecutively, the odds of Team India going all the way to the semis are getting better. Speaking to CNNIBN, New Zealand cricketing legend Sir Richard Hadley.
Talk to me also about India. We've never really had that sort of strong bowling attack. We've had those, part-time medium pacers. This time, were you impressed? Like before the competition, there was a little doubt about our bowlers?
I think they struggled, certainly in Australia leading into the World Cup. In fact, the whole team, I think, was struggling, although some batsmen were scoring some runs, but they weren't winning games. But going into the World Cup, clearly the bowlers have adjusted to the lines and lengths that they need to bowl, and Shami has been particularly impressive.
My 3 favourites, and the way that I see the tables right now, I think it's going to be between Australia, New Zealand and India for obvious reasons. But leadership-wise, I think India has seen the big format game. They've been there, pressure situations. They won all the major ICC tournaments. Do you think that would really, really help India in Australia and New Zealand?
Well, the batting is the key, I think, for India. I mean, they've got run-making potential, the fact that they can score over 300 runs time and time again, and if you're scoring those amount of runs, you should be good enough to defend it in simple terms, although some scores have been higher, and some teams have struggled to defend. But I think the bowling needs to still be more accurate and more consistent, and I think the fielding needs to lift a bit. It's certainly better. All-round performance is certainly better than pre-World Cup, so it means that they've adjusted to the Australian conditions, even though it's taken time, and if they keep going the way they are, although they've got 2 games in New Zealand, so they've got to make an adjustment there, because again it's a different length to bowl.
All right, most emphatic statement yet by Dhoni and his boys. India have thrashed Ireland by 8 wickets. Is Dhoni now set for a second shot at the World Cup? Nobody would have given them a chance at the start of the tournament. Now everybody's saying India are favourites. Joining us on the panel tonight on Talking Point here in our studios, Krishnamachari Srikanth, former India captain. Joining us from Chennai, N. Ram, cricket enthusiast, chairman of Kasturi & Sons and former editor-in-chief of The Hindu. And we'll also be joined in a bit by Pradeep Magazine, sports advisor to the Hindustan Times Group, and by Debraj Mukherjee, who is a columnist with the Indian Express newspaper. So till those 2 guests come in, it's a full Chennai house. Chika, you're from Chennai, Mr. Ram's from Chennai, so am I. So yeah, so the Chennai boys. Let me start with you, Chika. Is this the most... I know it's against Ireland, but it's 5 wins out of 5. 9 consecutive wins in the World Cup for Dhoni. He's the highest Indian the record for the highest Indian victories for any captain in the World Cup. Is this the most for India now, the favourites to go all the way?
I would say one of the favourites. I mean, right from the beginning, I think we've been speaking about it. I think I've always said 4 teams that'll qualify for the semi-finals. Australia, India, South Africa, and New Zealand. Okay. So one of these 4 teams will obviously win the cup. Well, the reason I'm saying one of the favorites is simple, Zaka. We are in a fantastic form. The team is doing brilliantly. Yes, definitely one of the hot favorites, I should say. Okay. But when it comes to the semi-final stage, what happens is, it's anybody's game. Fair enough. At that particular point of day, somebody might come with a blinder, either for India or against India. and then they can just take the match away from you, or somebody will pull the match away for you, and that's what happened in what they call a World Cup scenario. So I would say one of the very, very, very strong favorites, which I've been maintaining right from day number one.
It depends on which side of the bed you wake up on. We all remember the 1983 final. The Indians, of course, woke up on the right side of the bed that day. Mr. Ram, before this tournament started, nobody would have wagered a bet on India, not just actually now people are saying they can go through to the semis because we'll most likely face Bangladesh in the quarterfinals, both on form, and if you go by history, we are the better side. But how did this sort of dramatic turnaround happen? I mean, we spent 84 days in Australia without a single win all summer, and then suddenly for the last 3 weeks, we haven't lost a game.
Yes, I think it's clear that that India has used this experience to great effect. And I think you have then Dhoni coming in. He's a completely different captain in ODIs than he is from Test cricket. I think he found it, I think, too stressful, Test cricket, and everyone said that he wasn't really engaged. He retired at the right time, and with that burden off, I think Dhoni is proving to be a superb captain, arguably the best captain in this whole lineup. McCullum will, I think, challenge him. About Michael Clarke, the jury is out. What kind of captain he is, whether he can hold his place in the team. But Dhoni has to be given the highest praise in the ODI format as opposed to the test cricket for what he's done.
Okay.
The magic is wrought with Indian cricket. I think he puts himself in the firing line. Ian Chappell has a very nice piece on Cricket Info on how India blossoms under Dhoni's captaincy in ODIs and how it's done that recently. Then you give a lot of credit to the fielding. I think incredibly good fielding led by perhaps Rahane. And then you have bowling discipline. The bowlers, they couldn't take 20 wickets in the Test series. Never looked like taking them.
Yeah.
But in the ODIs, they bowled with discipline. And I think because Dhoni trusts them and I think backs them up. And I think I would give the highest marks here to MS.
And testament to the bowlers, in every game we played in the World Cup so far, they bowled out the opposition. Pradeep Magazine's now here with us. I know cricket's not just a game of ticking the boxes, but if it were, Dhoni's team seems to have ticked off all the boxes. The bowlers were a problem before the tournament started. We had fascinating fast bowling from Shami, from Umesh Yadav, from Mohit Sharma as well. The spinners, Ashwin was outstanding. He's been outstanding through the tournament. He was even better today. Going into this game, the only area that needed to be ticked was the opening partnership. That got ticked as well. Do you think we're now serious contenders to retain this?
We definitely are. Well, like the way they have played, the intensity they have shown, which was lacking in these 84 days when they were in Australia. Most surprising has been the bowling, which we thought is the weakest point. And today it appears India's bowling is one of its strongest points. Yeah. But I think one box which India needs to tick, which could have come handy, is that the lower order should have got under more pressure.
But they were in the West Indies game and they came out all right.
West Indies game, they came all right, but somehow West Indies intensity in the end, their whole tactics were baffling. Not to take away any credit from the way India won that game, but somehow I feel the only box which it would have helped. Not that the way they have played, they played outstanding cricket, which there are no two opinions about that. That today, before the World Cup, most of us thought that India has very little chance. Today we think they are one of the favorites. So it itself shows the kind of cricket they have played.
Chika, I don't know if you're a believer in the crystal ball, but take out your crystal ball and tell us, we're going to play Bangladesh most likely in the quarterfinals, and like I said before, we should win that game on form and on history. Then we play, most likely, the winner of the Australia-Pakistan game, right? That's where it gets sort of tricky in the semi-finals. Going into that game, is it, like you said, just on the day, whoever plays well just turns out to win? Or do you actually have a strategy, a tactic, a methodology you take on?
See, methodology is there, Zaka, for every game. Everybody plans for every game. I mean, every team knows the opposition too well. Come on, today, media, technology, everybody knows everybody. Even you yourself knows. I mean, you yourself, Zaka, will today predict, okay, this guy's weakness and strength. I'm sure, Zaka, you know what, this guy, what's happening.
You know, I wish playing cricket were as easy, but
I'm just trying to say, Zaka, even A non-cricketer like you, thanks to technology, understands what's happening today. So everybody understands people's weakness and strengths and everything. But I tell you, if it's going to be Australia, then it's going to be a great game.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, Australia is also a very complete side.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget, last game, if you see, what they've done, they reorganized themselves, made Smith come at number 3, put Shane Watson at number 6, make sure that Shane Watson is back to form.
Yeah.
They have all-rounders, they've got some good bowlers. But then, it's going to be a great contest if it's going to be between India and Australia. It's a question of, at that particular day, which batting lineup clicks.
Yeah.
They have a powerful batting lineup, we have a powerful batting lineup. They have a very good bowling lineup, we have a good bowling lineup. But then which is going to win on that particular
On that day.
See what